The mind is absolutely insane. So last night I was laying in bed trying to fall asleep, and then I started to think about Goosebumps books, and I came across this book in my mind specifically. Now the reason I was thinking about Goosebumps is because a couple days earlier I saw a video about R. Alstein and how he came up with the books, and I love Goosebumps books. And so last time I was just laying there, and then randomly Goosebumps books, and then boom, this specific book, and then I remember something so specific from the story. Now, this book is an adventure book. So what that means is you read a page, and some pages at the very bottom you have a choice to make. So you jump to like other random pages throughout the book. It's really cool. And so what was so clear was part of the book, you're at the train station waiting for your grandma, and on the train you see these letters. And you can either investigate the letters or stay there and wait for your grandma. Now, this might not seem anything, out of the ordinary, but I haven't thought about this book for over 10 plus years. So it's been 10 plus years since I even read this book and even thought about it that whole time. The only reason I started thinking about Goosebumps is because of that one video. And so it's so insane that I'm able to remember something so specific about it. But then I'm like, whoa, how is this even possible? And I start to focus, and I'm able to remember more of the story, more of the different options. And it's so weird how the mind works, because right now I have read so many different books. If it's just books I want to read or books from school, which I probably hated the most, I learned so much information within those 10 plus years, right? And if you were to ask me anything about all that other information, I probably wouldn't be able to bring stuff up depending on what it is, right? Because this is something I liked. I liked the Goosebumps books. So let's say right now, language arts is when I had to read law books. There's probably like Romeo and Juliet, but that's always like played out, so many different videos, movies, things like that. So I think we read something called the Great Expectations and Red Badge of Courage. Now, Badge of Courage, something with war. Great Expectations, something with a dog, I think. And see, right now, I'm actively trying to figure out stuff from that book, trying to remember things, and I can't. Right now, I can't think of anything besides those two things I told you about those two books. But this book, I can go in more detail, try to, have random things pop up in my head, like, oh yeah, this has also happened in the book. Oh yeah, this happened. And the reason I think it is because I actually liked this book, right? This Goosebumps book. I liked this book. The other books I was forced to read, so I didn't like it, so it was more of a chore. And that alone, for whatever reason, makes something that is 10 plus years old, just like almost not, yeah, probably, yeah, 10 plus years old for those other books too. I can't remember anything about those books, but this book I can. So liking something is a factor, is one of the keys to remembering something for long term, regardless of whatever you're doing to learn that information. Because I can tell you right now, I did not use any memory techniques when learning this or reading this book. I just read the book and enjoyed it. I didn't use any memory techniques for those other books, Great Expectations and The Red Badge of Courage. No memory techniques. So the book is exactly the same. Now, I guess in situation-wise, right? The only difference was I liked this book. I hated those other books. And so it was just so insane. Just last time, I'm like, how am I remembering something from 10 plus years ago? And then it was so clear. That was the crazy part. It was like perfectly clear in my mind. And another aspect might be that this book, I am creating the story in my head. Yes, you have this cover image, but I am creating all of the characters in my head on how I see them. I am playing the story in my head. So that's kind of like memory techniques, right? What I kind of teach you, changing the information to an image. The story, I'm picturing everything in my head. Those other books, yeah, but I guess that factor of me hating it made it so it wasn't as clear, or I wasn't as engaged. So if anything to be taken away from this video, it's your mind's amazing. That's the first thing. But also, you just have to like whatever you're trying to learn, because that alone will allow you to remember information for a lot longer, and it's going to be more enjoyable. Because it seems like those are super important factors, regardless if you're using memory techniques or not. If you enjoy whatever you're learning and you're fully engaged, yes, you might not remember every single thing. From this book, I do not remember every single thing. You have 20 different scary endings, right? I don't remember all those endings. I could remember some of them. But yeah, it's just like you don't need to use memory techniques to learn something. You could just be fully engaged, have fun with it, and like it, and that would be enough to get some main points across. But of course, if you need more information, like if I want to remember all 20 different scary endings, guess what? Right now, memory technique mode. Oh, I have a memory palace with 20 different locations within it. And then I'll get kind of like the main ideas from the different endings, maybe even the page number. So right here, that's memory technique talk, right? But just reading the book, I'm able to remember just some general things from 10 plus years ago. So hopefully you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you next time.